Bye then. So today, because you probably have already read the title, we're going to be looking at Panic Attack. I'm just going to get that into focus there. So, from one champion to another, we've got the Series 2 champions, and basically how they won things is they had these forks at the front, and they very gently lifted things. It was a simpler time in Series 2 of Robot Wars. You could win being a bin on wheels. In fact, I think something did do that once. Anyway, so this is Panic Attack, and you can tell that because it says Panic Attack on the side. Now then, if Sergeant Bash is the least accurate of the house robots, wow, that sentence was a struggle, this is probably the least accurate of the competitor models. Frankly, I don't know why they bothered making this if they couldn't get it right. Alright, we'll start with the features. So, we have these forks at the front, and they're activated using this red lever, and it lifts up like that. Well, you can try and use it as a flipper if you prefer, but the proper way to do it would be that. Unfortunately, as you can probably see already, they come nowhere near the floor. They are hanging in midair. So to actually, we're going to use golden shunt for this. To actually try and get under things, it kind of works because everything else is quite high up off the ground. But if, like every other child that played with these, made their own models, that wasn't happening, unfortunately. Actually, that looks quite cool. That could be a thumbnail. It won't be, though. So, thank you, Sean. You can go away now. Thank you. Thank you. Back to the job centre with you. Right, so, so that was it, basically. It also had a self-writing arm on the top, which it would use to self-write if it was upside down. It would be like, bomp, and that would happen. That is just moulded plastic on this, unfortunately, which I assume is because they have to facilitate that whole mechanism, which is a shame, but all the same. Right, let's get into what's wrong with this model, because I think we've bandied around with this enough, to be honest. Let's start with the fact it's the wrong colour. Panic Attack was yellow. It just wasn't this yellow. At no point was it a sort of lemony, nasty yellow. It should basically just be a slightly darker colour than this. In person, it does look a little bit darker than on camera, but it's still not quite right. It should be sort of more of an amber colour than the sort of lemony yellow that it is. So that's not right. They've put a website at the top, and it's a fake website. It's like rsww.com/Panic Attack, so it's not an actual website that you can visit, presumably because they can't advertise on toys. But anyway, the next one, if I lift up the fork, they've got these eyes. That should be eyebrows, and they should be eyes. There should be little red pupils here, which are missing for some reason, which is odd, because they use red paint anyway on here, so I don't understand that one. The next problem is the whole body is too high up off the ground. These wheels, very chunky, very powerful motor, but they lift the whole thing far too high, so the whole thing is like, I mean, look at that gap, it's huge. Which is also part of the reason why the forks don't reach the floor, because I'm pretty sure in saying that the forks do actually reach, yeah, the bottom of where the actual model is, they reach that, but because the wheels then bump it up further, it's actually just hanging in space, which sucks. These skirts as well shouldn't be moulded to the side. They should sort of flare out a little bit and kind of hug the floor, because the idea being that nothing can get under them, and obviously they're not doing their job at the minute. There is a little light on at the back, which obviously doesn't light up, but it's there anyway as a detail, so that's nice enough. Striping is all there. Oh, and the mechanism arm, for some reason, is also yellow, even though it's a separate piece of plastic, which I find a little bit odd, because that should be black to go with the rest of it. So that's everything with that. Other than that, functionally it works fine. I mean, this is a bit stiff, so raising it the correct way is a little bit tricky, but it's just the fact that it's just too high. That's the main problem with it. It is too high up off the ground for it to work properly. There have been several modifications made, actually online, that you can do to this toy if you so wish, but I don't really. I have it to show it you today, but yes, if these were still around, I would say probably don't pick this one up, because it's not a very interesting competitor to start with, and the model is a bit naff. Accessories-wise, this came with a robotic football net and ball, which was one of the competitor events in Series 2 and 3. which was a nice little thing to have. I did genuinely like getting all the little gauntlet bits and pieces, because they were just a bit of fun, to be honest. I never played with them, but you know, they were still fun. So fun. Thank you, Panic Attack. You were excused. Oh, for God's sake.